When it comes to street performance carburetors, who makes the better one, Holley or Edelbrock? That's what we're going to get into today on Unity Motorsports Garage. Stick around. The perfect carburetor to different people means different things, okay? Someone like me who's into drag racing and all of that good jazz, it's all about horsepower and torque, right? Well, to 95% of the population out there, that's not the case. They want to have a carburetor that will crank, run, drive, be reliable, and not leak gas all over the intake in 6 months. If you remember back in the summertime, I actually did a video on this very truck. This thing belongs to my good buddy Rodney Alexander, and his dad bought this truck brand new, and Rodney drove it to high school. But I did a video called Forgotten Ancient Tools where I used a vacuum gauge to dial in that carburetor, and I did some other things. I put a spacer underneath there, so on and so forth. Well, he brought it back because that carburetor is acting up. The Holley versus Edelbrock debate has been going on for years, and I don't know if you will ever convince one in each other's camp to try out a different carburetor, but they do have some positives and negatives when dealing with these things. This truck here has basically an electric choke version of an 1850 Holley here. It's 600 CFM. These are really good carburetors. This is probably the quintessential universal street carburetor that you will find on probably 80% of street cars out there. When I did the video last time, I noticed that the idle mixture screws were very loose. I mean, they would almost vibrate out. And that's what had happened to start with. Well, I put new cork in it, and guess what? 6 months later, here we are again. So I don't know if the hole in the side of the metering block is actually too big, but I actually had an Edelbrock AVS2 carburetor sitting on the shelf, and so I asked Rodney, I said, hey, you want to try to give this carburetor a chance? We'll put it on there and see how it does. And he was like, yeah. I was like, now here's the kicker. This one has an electric choke where that one is manual, so you would have to get used to that. He was like, I'm good with that. So the AVS2 is probably one of my favorite street carburetors. I've actually only got to work on a handful of them, maybe two, and they're just phenomenal as far as their operation. So let's take a look at what we're actually putting on this truck. So here you're looking at the AVS2 carburetor by Edelbrock, and it looks like a regular Performer Series Edelbrock, but there's two main exceptions here. This thing has an air door that actuates for the secondaries, much like a Quadrajet, but also if you look down in there, this thing has annular boosters in the primaries. I've done tons of videos talking about carburetor boosters and their applications and their strengths and weaknesses. Well, normally, if you put an annular booster on a heated intake like this, it would result in a power loss. Throttle response will be extremely good, but with the extra heat from the manifold, it tends to atomize the fuel too much, and you lose power and efficiency. But on the back side of this thing, this is where it gets really cool. You notice it has standard boosters in the secondaries, basically allowing you to have your cake and eat it too. You know, I'm thinking that this thing's probably going to have way better throttle response with that carburetor and probably matching in power. Now, where that carburetor would really shine is if you put that carburetor on a RPM air gap intake, something that was a cooler running intake, it would kick at 1850 in the teeth because those carburetors come with just standard straight boosters. I guess I'm past the point of talking. Now it's time to get this carburetor off and actually get the other one on. Okay, it's about time to go out with the old. Check this out. This carburetor is just a couple years old. Look, it's leaking already up here around the bowl gasket. You can see gas residue around the accelerator pump screws. That's a problem. If you talk to the Edelbrock guys, they will say the Holleys always leak, they always lose their tune. And there's some truth to that, as much as I hate to admit it, because I am a diehard Holley guy. You know, but I also love tinkering with carburetors, so those little leak issues probably wouldn't happen to me because I would have it apart 40 million times. But for the average enthusiast who's just wanting to put it on the vehicle and go, it's hard to beat the Edelbrock. You can make minor field curve changes right here using the metering rods. Now, if you end up having to go further and change jets, all of these screws have to come out in order to get the top off to change the jets. That's the rub there. But for most people, you can end up in the ballpark where you need to be just by changing the metering rods. Get you a kit like this right here where you can actually change the rods, and there's the chart of which sizes or what numbers. Got different springs for different, this would be like your power valve in your Holley. Think of that this way. These springs, when the vacuum goes down below a certain level, it pulls the rods out of the jet, enriching the fuel mixture, where this has a power valve that just opens and does the enrichment that way. Here is another benefit to this carburetor, is putting it on the average vehicle. This thing is going to have a heavy spring inside the diaphragm, meaning that the vacuum secondaries are going to open really slow, and they may not open all the way because of this spring. Well, with the AVS, you can come in here and tailor how fast this door opens. And this is really a bigger bang for the buck, because you have to buy a kit of interchangeable springs, take this off, replace the spring, hope you don't tear the diaphragm, where all you do with this is go in here with a screwdriver and a Torx, and you adjust it. That simple. Finally, the last thing I'm going to talk about before I put this carburetor on Rodney's truck is cost. If you go to Summit Racing today, which is December 14th, 2025, I'll put a price of this carburetor up, and you can see how much it cost versus the AVS2. The AVS is the more economical carburetor, and like I said, it comes with more features. So here's a little installation tip on these type carburetors, and this goes for the regular Performer Series carburetor as well. Depending on your air cleaner that you're going to be running, you may need to switch from the traditional barb fitting to the banjo fitting here, so that the air cleaner base will actually fit down on the carburetor. Now, before you start thinking, oh, this one will work out of the Holley, they look similar, but the thread count is different. Just in case you're wondering, here is the part number for the banjo fitting. Edelbrock 8089, got this from Summit. It's like 21 bucks. And then the choke cable is really cool. Check this out. Has Edelbrock equipped in it. Believe it or not, I could get this choke cable cheaper than I could one from Napa. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This came from Summit also. I'm wanting to say this was like part number 8013, but I'm wanting to say it was like 26 bucks. There you have it. Here's the plan. I'm not going to give you my opinion of the carburetor once we get it installed. I'm going to let Rodney, the owner, tell you his impressions, because At the end of the day, that's what really matters. You don't want to know my opinion. You want to know somebody who's driven this truck time after time after time again with the old carburetor, and that way you'll have a good comparison. The install on this thing went really good. I mean, literally, you can have that carburetor on in about 15 to 20 minutes. I actually spent more time running the choke cable inside than I did putting the carburetor on. Let's take a look at that choke cable. Here you can see the nice little bracket that I put in here with the Edelbrock equipped choke cable. Let's see how this thing cranks up. Like a champ. Well, here we are. We've got the new ABS set up on the truck, and full disclaimer, since this is a pretty much bone stock 400 here, I decided to go ahead and change out the metering rod springs because this engine makes about 18 inches of vacuum when it's in gear, which is pretty high. So normally these things come with a spring that changes at 5 inches. So let's take a look. These are the springs that I actually took out of the carburetor, and I went ahead and went to the silver spring, which is 8 inches. Basically, what that means is it brings the power circuit fuel on sooner. If this thing had a bigger cam with less vacuum, you would want to move that number down. So just keep that in mind. And also, based off of my previous experience of working with the AVS, I went ahead and turned the air valve secondary screw about 3/4 of a turn counterclockwise to slow it down, because this is a stock truck. You know, this is not some hot rod. Let's take this thing over to Rodney's and let him drive it and give his driving impressions, because like I said, that's what matters. I got the vacuum lines. I think we're ready to go.
Hey, you know, that's the second Holley I've tried, and that we put on it and try to get it run right. The thing for me is it's got a small, I call it an RV cam.
Yeah.
For Dad put that in it when we changed the motors. We put the 400M engine in it, and he wanted a little bit of cam to pull his boat with and do whatever. Because this was his daily for a long time, and he did. He drove it back and forth to the beach, pulled his boat. Maybe awesome. Twice a month, you know. Usually I would have trouble with it coming up to a light like this, and it would want to sit there and kind of chop and halfway run, and it felt like it was loading up.
Yeah.
You know, which we know now that it was. And it's just as smooth
as it can be.
It was never that smooth.
Never.
No.
Even after I dialed that thing in with the mixture screws, it was never this smooth.
It was not. It absolutely was not. I'm super excited, man, because I love driving this truck. It just got, you know, those last few times, man, it wasn't fun. When you're feeling like you're gonna, you really got to be mindful on that throttle, because it's like, we're going. It's time to go. Let's go.
Honestly, this is probably the closest in throttle response that you could have to fuel injection. If anything, I would say it's probably just slightly better. There's no delay to it.
There's no delay. I just want to see. I mean, I'm blown away at how smooth it idles just from sitting at a light. No stutter at all.
Didn't stumble.
No
stutter.
Not
nothing.
One bit. That's exciting because I know what a fan of Edelbrock Dad was. And this being his truck, and now he's got an Edelbrock carburetor on it, I know.
Oh yeah.
He's smiling down, he's happy.
Absolutely.
Now I feel good about Malia getting in it and not letting her sit somewhere, you know?
Yeah.
She'd panic. See, right now it would be going,
Yeah.
It's just, that's crazy cool, man. I love that.
Okay, Rodney, what's your impressions of this thing? Honest.
Honest.
This is an honest program here.
Honest program. This thing is incredible. I'm blown away because I've been driving this truck since my dad passed, pretty much daily.
Yeah.
And I want my wife loves this truck. She likes driving it, but I was afraid to put her in it because I couldn't trust it.
Yeah.
You know, I get to a light or get to an intersection and it cut off and had this carburetor problem after problem. You helped me get out of it that one
Yeah.
time, but it started doing it again.
Yeah.
So
It wasn't even, what, 6 months or
it
something
hadn't been
like
6
that?
months. Yeah.
Nah.
No. But I'm thoroughly impressed, man. This thing is just like bolt-on fix, you know?
Yeah. It's amazing, really, so.
I mean, you didn't have to spend a ton of time tuning it once you got it on, did you?
No, basically, all I did was adjust the idle air mixture. I did change the metering rod springs in this thing because I knew that with this pretty much stock motor, it would need to be done, and I adjusted the air door a little bit, but literally it took me 5 minutes to tune this thing.
That's crazy. The drivability of it to me is what's so impressive.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, folks. He's thoroughly impressed. I'm happy with it. And just it goes to show you that the cheaper option actually is a better performing carburetor. So until next time, this is Andy from Unity Motorsports Garage. This is Rodney. He's going to take me for a ride in that Coyote Galaxy.
Let's go.
Let's go. Catch y'all later.